Morning everyone, I am Shabina Fatma. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about explosion. So what is explosion? Actually explosion is a chemical reaction which is basically exothermic in nature. So the so when the products get heated up in explosion, the products get heated up to extremely high temperature, and it exerts huge pressure across the wall that shatters the confining wall, and the explosion reactions are rapid. Explosion reactions are rapid and are associated with oxidation reaction, releasing heat, light, and large volume of gas. Explosive materials. Explosive materials are actually what? They are chemical substances. They are chemical substances which when subjected to certain shock, or friction, which when certain shock or friction get oxidized, releases huge amount of energy in an extremely short period of time. So this explosion takes place within a second. So these explosive materials, they contain the nitro group or nitrate group, because this nitrate group is having three molecules of oxygen, and for explosion to take place we need oxygen. Azide group is exception to this. Requisite for explosive material. It must contain at least one chemical bond, and the explosive material should be stable under ordinary conditions of storage, and they have oxygen balance. Therefore it should contain the nitro group, and the end product of explosives must be gases. When the explosion takes place, the resulting substances are what? They are gases. The explosion releases huge amount of gases within a second. So types of explosives, they can be primary explosive, low explosives, and high explosives. Low explosives are also known as deflagrating explosives, and high explosives are also known as secondary explosives. Primary explosives. Primary explosives are detonators. Primary explosives are detonators. They are highly sensitive. Means they explode even with a small amount of friction or trigger. So they are used to initiate the less sensitive explosives. So these primary explosives are also known as initiators, because they are used for exploding the secondary explosives which are stable at ordinary conditions. So these primary explosives are known as what? Known as initiators. They initiate the explosion process. So used for shattering, making holes in rocks. So some of the examples of primary explosives are lead azide, mercury fulminate, tetracene, DDNP, that is diazodinitrophenol. Lead azide. Lead azide is a primary explosive, means they explode even with a small friction or trigger. They are prepared by reacting They are prepared by reacting aqueous solutions of sodium azide with lead nitrate. So when sodium azide reacts with lead nitrate, it gives lead azide and sodium nitrate. Used in detonators, they are white to buff powder. It is needle shaped. Mercury fulminate. They are prepared by dissolving mercury in nitric acid, after which the solution is poured into 95% ethanol. Vigorous gas evolution takes place, and the mercury its crystals are pyramidal shaped. They have pyramidal shaped crystals, and they are used in the manufacture of blasting caps and percussion caps. Detonation technique. Detonation is actually uncontrolled combustion propagated by compression wave that heats the explosive mass to its decomposition temperature. Detonation is in combustion. What happens? In combustion, there is a substance plus there is a supply of oxygen, so that the fire initiated combustion takes place. But in cases of detonation, it is uncontrolled combustion with release of huge amount of gases, heat and light. Low explosives are also known as they are also known as deflagrating explosives. They are mild explosives and mainly used as propellants. They burn with a flame speed of not less than 100 meter per second. They are less shattering, produce large volume of gas. Used in missile propellants and pyrotechnics. Example, gunpowder, which is also known as black powder, having sulfur, charcoal and saltpeter. Examples of low explosives: black powder, propellants, smokeless powder. Gunpowder, also known as black powder. It is a mixture of sulfur, charcoal and potassium nitrate. So the sulfur and charcoal acts as fuel, but the saltpeter acts as oxidizer, means they provide oxygen which is required for the reaction to take place. So these gunpowder are used in firearms for propelling the propellant from the muzzle end of the gun. Gunpowder's burning rate increases with pressure. High explosives are also known as secondary explosives. They initiate only with the help of primary explosives. They are high energy content explosives and they are very stable at ordinary conditions. Quite insensitive type of explosive, but they explode with great violence only with the help of initiators. A small amount of primary explosives are placed in contact with high explosives. High explosives can be broadly divided into military and industrial high explosives. Examples of secondary explosives: military, industrial. Simple single compound explosive, binary explosive, plastic explosives, dynamite explosives. Examples of single compound explosives: TNT, PETN, RDX. These are examples of single compound explosives. Ammonium nitrate, TNT, that is 2,4,6 trinitrotoluene, PETN, pentaerythritol tetranitrate. Examples of binary explosives: These explosives contain two materials, like amatol is made up of TNT and ammonium nitrate. Pentolite is made up of TNT and PETN. Tropex is made up of RDX, TNT and aluminium powder. Titronal is made up of TNT and aluminium powder. Trinitrotoluene is produced in a three-step process. First of all, toluene is very essential for making TNT. So toluene is nitrated with a mixture of sulfuric and nitric acid to produce MNT, that is mononitrotoluene. Then this MNT is separated and then again renitrated, we can say, then renitrated to dinitrotoluene. And in the first step, the DNT is nitrated to trinitrotoluene or TNT using an anhydrous mixture of nitric acid and oleum, that is sulfuric acid. So the nitric acid is consumed by the manufacturing process, but the diluted sulfuric acid can be reconcentrated and reused. Most commonly used explosive is TNT because it neither absorbs nor dissolves in water, but can be effectively used in wet environment. PETM production is by the reaction of pentaerythritol with concentrated nitric acid to form a precipitate, which is PETN obviously. Most common use of PETN is an explosive with high brisance, and it is most difficult to detonate it alone. Least stable among the military explosives and can be stored without significant deterioration for longer than nitroglycerin or nitrocellulose. Plastic explosives. Plastic explosives are combination of explosives which are in plastic state, and they can be hand molded into various shapes, sizes according to our convenience. Dynamite, nitroglycerin. It has nitroglycerin as its principal ingredient. Nitroglycerin is an oily liquid which detonates by pressure shock. Friends, this is all about some of the explosives and the explosion technique. If you like the video, then please do like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Jai Hind.